Chair Diehl, the recording has started.
Very good. Thank you very much. Welcome everybody to our joint meeting of the Building Membership Council and the Fire Service Membership Council. We have a very good presenter today. And very happy to have so many people on board for this event. If we could go ahead and do a roll call, that would be fine, please.
I'll start with FSMC first. Chair Diehl, I have you. Vice Chair Nelson.
Good morning. Good afternoon, everybody.
Thank you. Brian Adams. Brian Adams. Ted Black.
I'm present, thank you.
Justin Sherwood. Justin Sherwood. Darcy Davidson.
I'm here.
Michael Desrochers.
Proud to be here.
William Hyde.
Present.
William Hyde.
Present.
Ed Kaminsky. Ed Kaminsky. Brandon Sullivan. Brandon Sullivan. Oh, Brandon, you're here? I think I heard Brandon. Kevin LaFave. Kevin LaFave. Jonathan Lund.
I'm here.
Larry Medina.
Here.
Kelly Nicolello.
Present.
John Davin. John Davin. He had a meeting and he notified me, Chair Diehl, so he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to make it. Craig Landau.
Here.
Brendan O'Sullivan. Brendan O'Sullivan. That's the end of roll call, Chair Diehl.
All right, thank you very much. Karen, would you like to go ahead and do the roll call for the building membership, please?
Absolutely. Chair Rachel Parrish, I believe she is absent at the moment, but we are waiting for her. So just giving her a shout out in case she made it earlier than we expected. All right, she will be here. Vice Chair Allison Cook.
Hi.
Excellent. Brian Bishop. Elizabeth Arrington.
I'm here.
Thank you. Paul Demers. Diane Carter.
Here.
Kevin Gore.
Here.
Thank you. Terry Kozlowski. Christopher McWhite. Eric Miller.
Here.
Amrinder Singh.
I'm here.
Thank you. And Bonnie Muhagiri Girwa. Thank you, Bonnie. Director Hampton also messaged this morning saying he had a conflict as well. And Bill Nash. Right. That concludes our BMC governing committee. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you. Again, I'd like to welcome everybody to the call as well as the new members that are here. Today's presentation is going to be an AHJ update on storage A2L refrigerants presented by Tim Deary, Senior Director of Codes. Mr. Deary, it is all you. You have about 25 minutes to give us a great presentation.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Great to be with you all today. I really appreciate the invitation.
My name is Tom Deary, and I am the Senior Director of Codes at AHRI, the Air Conditioning, Heating, and Refrigeration Institute. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and queue up my presentation here. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep, you're good.
Great.
And now.
Okay, well, our intention here today is, of course, as many of you realize, the 2024 IFC and that NFPA 1 have been out for quite some time, but there are many jurisdictions where this code has not been adopted yet. And we'll get into this a little bit of why this is of such importance to our industry, and why you've likely seen a lot of requests for variances and such in a lot of your jurisdictions, because we do have a need to store equipment that is charged with A2L refrigerants, and to store A2L refrigerant itself. And we'll get into a little bit to what that means and where you can go for more information. I do probably have a few more slides than I have time for, but I am going to provide them to Christine afterwards. She is welcome to distribute them to this group. I should say both of these groups. And we do have a flyer that is a much more abbreviated version of this information that we developed in partnership with some members of the fire service that I also hope will be a helpful tool as well. So we'll go ahead and get started. As always, have to issue a disclaimer that these opinions are not necessarily those of AHRI, and that they do not constitute legal or professional advice. But with that being said, I wanted to touch real quick on why this refrigerant transition is necessary. There was the AIM Act that was signed by President Trump back in 2020, which has necessitated this change, this refrigerant transition in our industry. But the only part of that I really want to focus on is just this table of equipment, types of equipment that has various dates attached to it for when it has to meet certain GWP requirements. And as you can see there at the top, that residential and light commercial air conditioning and heat pump systems, as of January 1st, 2025, so this year, the industry is no longer allowed to manufacture equipment using R410A or any other refrigerant that does not meet the under 700 global warming potential limit requirement. Now, for residential and light commercial, there is a 1-year sell-through period, which is why a lot of that equipment is still available in many markets. That sell-through period does not exist for other types of equipment you see here. That is specific to residential and light commercial, but just to explain sort of how that transition is taking place this year. But as you can see, for other sectors, there are other dates. And if we jump to the next one, you'll see another big one here for us certainly is this retail food supermarkets. That compliance date is coming a bit later, January 1st, 2027, but certainly that's one that's on the horizon as well. So just wanted to take a moment to explain why the industry is going through this refrigerant transition. And then again, I'm going to provide all this information to you, but I just wanted to briefly touch upon all of the research that went on leading up to this transition. And of course, we do have A2L refrigerants, which have lower flammability than many other flammable substances. And we'll get into what that means here a little bit. But R1234YF, R454B, R32, those are all common types of A2L refrigerants that you may see. And as you can see, a lot of what they have in terms of pressure temperature profiles and other properties are very similar to what we would call A1 refrigerants, to R410A and such. And so the compatibility for systems is actually very similar in many ways. As you can see, they are different in that A1s have no flame propagation, although they can combust and burn under the right circumstances. A2Ls do have flame propagation. What constitutes an A2L is measured in a number of ways, but among those ways are flammability limits, minimum ignition energy required, burning velocity and heat of combustion. Just to illustrate and to compare to an A3, R290 or propane, you'll see that R32 and R1234YF are, an order of magnitude higher in terms of the LFL, in terms of the minimum ignition energy required. They have a much lower burning velocity, as you can see there. It has to be under 10 centimeters per second to qualify as an A2L, and a much lower heat of combustion, which is why it has a lower risk than other flammable materials. Just wanted to provide some examples of the testing that was done. It's kind of hard to see in these pictures here on the right, but there is a thick black line, kind of like is in the class 3 picture there, and the flame cannot go outside of that in order to be an A1. And as you can see for the 2L, it barely goes outside of that flame, out of those lines. So by nature, it can't be listed as an A1. But when you compare that to an A3, you can see it behaves quite a bit differently. This particular test involved spraying a refrigerant onto a flame ignition source, in this case a candle. You can see for R32 it actually extinguished the flame, compared to R290, where there was some significant flame propagation. In this one, we were measuring the minimum ignition energy required. So you can see on the upper left there for R1234YF, you can see some smoke, and that's after increasing it to 1,000 millijoules. On the right-hand side, the upper right-hand side, you can see for R32, that's at 100 millijoules, and then R290 at 1 millijoule. So just, illustrating the various differences here in the ignition energy that's required to have an ignition event. And then testing different stimuli in terms of what creates a localized flame, what can create a deflagration with various types of A2O refrigerants. And you'll see there in all of the cases, many household electrical items were tested and did not produce even a localized flame, and certainly not a deflagration. But in some cases there at the top, you can see it did. And so, of course, there are safety measures that need to be taken into account, and those are all built into the safety standards. I'm not, in the interest of time, I'm not going to go into the updates that were made to the industry safety standards, but just to mention the big ones, of course, ASHRAE 15, ASHRAE 15.2, ASHRAE 34, of course, which does classification of refrigerants, UL 6335-2-40 for air conditioning equipment, and then UL 6335-2-89 on the commercial refrigeration side are the industry standards that we do safety certification to. So all of those standards had significant updates that were specific to A2L refrigerants and their safe use. And then, of course, in the codes, the pertinent information has been carried forward, and certainly the references have been updated to make sure that it points to the appropriate edition of those standards. Forgot about this one as well. Just another example of ignition testing that was done, and you can see inside that red circle there is a tiny little flame and some smoke there for R454C, which is an A2L at 1,200 grams, and then at R290 at less than half that. Certainly much more of an ignition event there. And just our overall takeaways, as I said, A2Ls are less likely to form flammable concentrations. They are harder to ignite, and they have less reactive. They are less reactive and have lower combustion energy. And through that, they have considerably less risk than other flammable materials. We did also, I wanted to point everyone to this. We worked with UL and with the Firefighter Safety Research Institute, the Fire Safety Research Institute, to develop this training based on AHRI 8028, which compares A2L and A1 refrigerants and illustrates a lot of what the information I provided here. But it is a resource that's available, and certainly would encourage folks to check that out. So I wanted to get into the model code updates a little bit, and Generally, I get into the IMC, the IRC, and such, but I don't think that's as pertinent to our discussion today. So I'm going to bypass that and focus more on IFC, IBC, and NFPA1. But these code additions have all been updated to recognize A2L refrigerants as being separate from A2. And previously, there was language in the code that said that A2L refrigerants were a subset of A2, and that is no longer what the code, how the code reads. And I, consistently it has acknowledged that A2Ls should be treated differently due to their different properties, and that in many cases, the storage for A2Ls can be increased. The quantity can be increased as long as the proper measures are taken. So that's what I wanted to get into a little bit here. For Group M and Group S occupancies, I think most people are aware of, the requirement that storage shall not exceed 6 feet 6 inches in height. The shelves shall be metal, and combustible products shall not be stored above A2L flammable gases. Flammable liquids shall be separated from A2L flammable gases by at least 20 feet, which can be reduced if diking is provided. But I also wanted to mention that increased quantities are allowed if all of the previous requirements are met, and the storage height can exceed 6 feet 6 inches if provided with a sprinkler system with a minimum design of EH Group 1. There are also various footnotes that have been added to the tables for the MAQs that I wanted to make everyone aware of. Footnote B being one of those, that the building shall be equipped throughout with an approved automatic sprinkler system for ordinary hazard group 2, where flammable gases are stored or displayed. And then, as you can see, the amount of liquefied A2L can be increased from 20,000 pounds to 40,000 pounds, or gaseous from 195,000 to 390,000. There is also a footnote C, however, which we're going to get into in the next one. Pardon me, before I do, those are the requirements for the various sprinkler designs for ordinary hazard group 2, being 300 gallons per minute under those parameters, and then extra hazard group 1. But I wanted to focus on group C for a moment and acknowledge that they have the allowance here that you can add 2% to storage for every additional 1,000 square feet over 50,000 up to 100% maximum. And so you can see there in our little diagram, it shows the building is sprinklered, an allowance for 40,000 pounds. And then for the diagram, for the picture on the right, up to 100,000, greater than or equal to 100,000 square feet, the allowance for 80,000 pounds. Additionally, you can have a maximum of 4 control areas in a 1-story building, provided the control areas are separated by 1-hour fire barriers, which allow for 40,000 in each of these areas, provided that each is sprinklered. And so that's what it looks like with both of the footnotes there present. And again, we're going to distribute this. But I wanted to highlight a number of available resources that we have, because certainly there are folks here from a lot of different jurisdictions. If you follow that QR code, we do have an interactive map where you can click on your state or on any state, certainly, and it'll bring up sort of what the status is for each state. It has links to the state's code, whether it's their mechanical code, their residential code, their fire code, etc. It'll say which edition of the various standards that state has adopted. In some states, acknowledging that the code cycle was not going to line up with the directive that the industry had been given from the federal government, we did have to pass state laws, which essentially allow the use of A2L refrigerants and point to the updated versions of the standards. And so if a particular state has a state law, that would be displayed here, and it would have a link so that you could read the language. In a few states, there are even letters of approval that were issued by a state's jurisdiction. We have that available as well. Links to those letters on the website. Washington, D.C., for example, has issued a letter. The state of Kentucky. So those are all available on there as well. So we hope that this is a helpful resource, but it also has my contact information. So if you look at it and you think it's raises more questions than it answers, or if you think there's anything that's inaccurate about it, please reach out to me, and I'll be happy to set up some time to discuss. We also have a saferefrigeraranttransition.org where we have a lot of different resources available about this refrigerant transition. We have videos, we have webinars that go far more in depth than I have gone today. This is all free of charge. It's not behind a paywall or a member site or anything like that. Just saferefrigeraranttransition.org. And we certainly invite you to check out all of the things we have on there. I also, of course, want to call out the ICC A2L refrigerants webpage. Jim Sika and his team have done just an incredible job in putting this together. And if you see that picture on the right there, it shows you they have redlined versions of every past addition to the code, I think dating back to 2012, that show all of the changes that were made from each edition to the 2024 edition that are specific to A2Ls. So if your particular jurisdiction is in the process of adopting 2024 and what you have now is a modified version of, say, 2018, this is a really helpful tool to show everything that has changed around A2Ls, and it's something that we've steered a lot of jurisdictions toward. And so I always want to take the opportunity to thank ICC for putting this together, and really putting out a helpful tool and recognizing the work that went into that. Hopefully I stayed within my time parameters there, but if we do have any time left, I would certainly be happy to take any questions.
Yeah, no, that was great, sir. I appreciate it. Yes, you did. You did very well on time. It's great. So does anyone have any questions out there? I'm not seeing any or hearing anything right now. So, like you said, I appreciate your time. Appreciate everything, all the information you provided. And once again, as you mentioned, we'll get that slide deck out to the interested parties and have more information.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. All right, we will continue on. I will recognize Rachel, the chair, Rachel Parrish, who just able to join us. So welcome, Rachel. As we move into any other additions or corrections to the agenda. Seeing none from the fire service, no one from building. We'll move into approval of the minutes for fire service.
So moved.
I got a second.
Second.
Thank you. Any opposed? All right, minutes for the fire membership council from last meeting are approved. Rachel or Allison, would you like to handle BMC?
Sure, I'll take a motion for minutes to be approved from our May 21st meeting.
This is I wonder. I make that motion.
In a second?
I'll second. This is Brian.
Thank you. Instead of some ayes, is there anybody opposed? And I will take that as approval. Thank you.
You're muted there, Tim.
Sorry, Rachel, I'll let you have the floor a little bit longer if you would like to have some opening remarks.
Thank you very much. So I know fire service, y'all aren't, you may or may not be aware, but our secretary for the BMC was just appointed to the board of directors. So we will be needing to replace our secretary, and I will be appointing Elizabeth Arrington, but before I do so, I will take any discussion if there is any to be had. Okay, then I will appoint Elizabeth Arrington as our secretary. And then I will move on to the subcommittees. So do we have anybody available to report on raising the profile and where we are on this year's goals?
I can make a quick comment, Rachel, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Sure. So for Raise the Profile, obviously we all just met earlier this week, and one of our goals is going to be the ICC community platform. So I just sent an email to everybody from the BMC GC sharing how we're going to be pushing in Pennsylvania for a lot of the members to join and be engaged with that platform. We currently have 120 or so from Pennsylvania. And if I'm able to get information from other states, membership lists, I would be more than open to sharing it with them, the benefits of the platform. So we will continue to do our best to get more engagement on that platform. And since some of the goals are more clear for this year, we're going to be working on ensuring how to get all of those goals achieved. So those are the only comments I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Do y'all have any comments about the goals from last year?
So I've been monitoring the online membership portal, and it looks like the last new member we've had join was 9 months ago. And so I'm hoping that at the annual conference, we'll have an influx of members to where we can bring them in and get them active with one of our subcommittees. So that's the goal for meeting. That's the deadline for meeting the goal of the welcome information. It's coming along pretty well. I do need at least one person that can help me finalize all that information. So if that sounds interesting to you, I've talked about it before in previous meetings. If you could just email me or message me, just one person that can help me edit it, finalize it, and put it together, I would really appreciate that second opinion.
I'll send you an email, Elizabeth, but I'll help you. This is Brian.
Thanks.
Thank you, Brian. Okay, and then we'll move on to the CDP. We'll go over last year's goals and the ones that we will be doing for this year. I don't have them in front of me. I'm so sorry, Allison. I'm gonna let you wing it because I can't remember right now. I just got out of interviews.
No, that's okay. So last year's goals for the code development participation was that we partnered with ELMC, and some great things that have come out so far. We have a survey we'll be sharing out with folks that we had over 500 respondents on, that we had a good group of folks, not just governmental committee members, and especially since we have 90 people here today. I want to remind you, anything you're interested in engaging on, or if you think, hey, I might want to serve on BMC as a governing member in the future, everybody is welcome to volunteer to help out with what Elizabeth is working on, Amrinder, myself, Paul, any of the other governing members that you see listed here. We've had the majority of this committee is not actually governing members, and we've done some really good work. So we'll be sharing that survey results out soon, basically looking at why people aren't engaging, like where is the gap on code development participation. So we're excited to share that out. That's really good work with over 500 respondents, or exactly 500. The other thing that's exciting is in our research of this, ICC staff has now started publishing how many validated voters there are each year. That just came out in March, and that's something we haven't historically published. I'll be happy to put the link in the chat. I'm sorry, I'm double dutying it. I'm at another chapter meeting, so I'm doing this out of my car. So I don't have that right on hand, but I'd be happy to put that in the chat. So now we can see how many folks in each of our states are validated voting members, and that's been something we've been missing in terms of information. As far as next year's goals, we did agree that we are welcome to keep helping folks in ELMC, but our goals are going to be focused on the training and the member engagement. We're not necessarily going to next year have a dedicated item for helping ELMC with this, although I think we're just generally going to be supportive of other MC initiatives. This one, I believe, as well as the best practices. And I think there was a third thing we discussed. So while this is not a specific line item, just general partnership and support of our other MCs where we can, will be how we continue to fulfill this.
Yeah, and we intentionally made that goal very vague as far as helping other membership councils, because what we're hoping to do is build some bridges between the membership councils and their initiatives and the building membership council that I know is more tied to the others directly, as opposed to, let's say, plumbing and electrical that don't necessarily have as much in common. And so we really do want to be there and use our membership to help support the initiatives of all of the other membership councils. So with that, I'll move over to education. Instead of going through the list of 90 people, do I have Paul or Diane on?
I'm on, Diane Carter. Our goals for the education committee is just to have more education during our meetings and perhaps at the meetings that ICC holds that we attend. We currently have two, I believe, two people agreed to participate and present, and we're working on probably 4 or 5 more at least. That's about it.
That's fantastic. And I know last year y'all did great work. Our goal last year was to have 4 of the education sessions, 2 of which were at both the spring interchange and the ABM. We struggled a little bit with the ABM, but we got a last minute insight session that Allison will be presenting at. And so by the skin of our teeth, we were able to hit that goal this year. So with that, I will turn it back over to you, Tim. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you for the updates. I'm glad to see your committees are doing well too. So we will move into the fire service work groups, starting with member engagement. Mr. Medina.
Good afternoon and good morning, depending on where you're at. And happy to report that the membership engagement work group met on Tuesday. I appreciate all the members or all the members of that work group for their attendance. I know every schedule is busy, but it seems like the meetings are productive. Appreciate Mark's help tremendously and just keeping us on track. So continuing some additional work, have some feelers out there with the some more speakers related to cannabis extraction and processing. Still have some follow up with I want to say Steve from IBHS and some other potential. So most of our stuff is just gleaning what we can from the other 3 work groups and seeing if we have any opportunities either to amend or add to our list of topics. But that's the end of our report. Thank you.
No, thank you, sir. Again, good work coming out. Emerging trends and issues, Mr. Desrochers.
Good afternoon, Chair, and good afternoon, everybody. We continue to host our monthly meetings with excellent turnout. I did have to cancel this week's emerging issue and trends work group because I was on vacation, and I'm actually still on vacation, but I couldn't miss this meeting here. One of our main focuses we're working on right now is our group is continuing efforts to find a better way to allow the public to suggest and identify emerging issue and trends and to track them within the Fire Service Membership Council's ecosystem. Right now, we're looking at, we may be better served using Microsoft Forms and an integrated Excel spreadsheet that we can more easily manage and customize than the one that our group built here going back about 2 or 3 years ago. So I've been working with Paul at ICC, Chief Fire Protection Engineer, Technical Services for ICC. Paul's been a great help. Paul has our existing Excel spreadsheet, and Paul is exploring other design options, hopefully to develop an appropriate form to allow us to build on rather than recreate documents on this system, just to make reporting and document management much easier. So for that, Paul, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And
And to show you real quick what that's starting to look like.
Perfect.
Form's sort of been built at this point, and I'm just showing it mostly for informational purposes. This is sort of, I don't think it's quite even ready for beta testing, let alone alpha testing, but the form tape builds off of what the emerging issues group had used previously. So, Chief, I will be getting back to you to take a quick look at this and make sure this captures, the information you already were gathering, see if we wish to augment this in any form or format. And then as I work with the rest of the fire disaster management team inside ICC, we got to find a place for this Excel spreadsheet to live and to get the link for this form placed on the updated website and that sort of stuff. So I think the basis is now built, but the follow on of where does it live and when does it go live is TBD, but hopefully within the month or so.
Well, that is great news. So thank you very much for all the help on that. This is, we've been waiting for this for a while, and you've really taken this off. So thank you so much, Paul. Next month, we can take a look at this in our group meeting, and look forward to reviewing that with you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. And yeah, Paul, excellent work. Michael's right. It's been a very long time coming. This was always the plan, and I know we're both excited to see this thing grow. So again, thank you very much. Moving on to public awareness, Mr. Nicolello. Kelly, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. On our meeting here this last week, with Christine's help, we put the finishing touches on defensible space and micromobility. And hopefully with marketing, we'll be letting those out in the next few days. We're still working with a cooking fire and a go bag article that we are in the process of putting together for the next couple of articles going out. And then we still have our list of items that we continually add to and reprioritize for subjects of discussion as to who it pertains to, whether it's a general public issue or whether or not it's a fire service more generic issue, and getting documents out to them for their use. We invite anybody who wants to be part of our meetings to do so, whether or not you're on the governance committee or just on the fire service membership committee. And you can send Christine an email to that effect if you're interested, or to myself, and we'd be happy to connect you up to our meeting dates. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And again, another great reminder to all our participants, you don't have to be on a member of the governing council to participate in our work groups. All voices are welcome, and we encourage it. Our last group is our training and education. Chief Lund or Mr. Black, either one.
We're working on some training and some single page information sheets that fire marshals and inspectors can go to either brush up on a specific topic or take an entire course. And hopefully we can find a place to house this where people with a question have a place to go. So there's a couple of information sheets available now, one on lithium ion batteries, and I'm drawing a blank on the other one. And then we're working on posting possibly an Inspector 1 class. So that's where we're at.
Great, sir. Go ahead, Christine.
Yes, I heard a couple of groups talk about where things were going to live, and we're very close in completing the access through member community for Fire Service Membership Council for each of the work groups. So you'll be able to have us put documents on. I'm hoping to find a place to put the link on for emergent issues and trends. So it's very close. I have to do a little bit more testing and training, and we will get that wrapped up, and we'll let everyone know when you can get a little bit deeper into documents for the time being on member community.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, we will continue moving on to our reports of our officers and liaisons. I'll let, I know Director Hampton is not on board today, so I guess it defaults to Director Toomey to take the lead, and then we'll have everybody else.
Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it. Hello, everybody. It's pretty nice to see just about 100 people on the call in the joint meeting today. So it's thanks for everyone getting on. A couple of quick updates that we've been trying to get the messaging out is hopefully by now everyone's seen the bylaw amendment that talks about the removal of a director kind of at extreme circumstances. That's information's on the website. It was the one that came up with the ABM last year and didn't quite pass, and it was asked to come bring it back and made a couple of work more on the education front. So hopefully everyone got a chance to see that, and that'll be at the ABM. So leads me into a reminder, of course, the ABM come up in October. We got a brief out at our board meeting over the weekend in San Diego. It's looking to shape up to be a really good ABM as usual, but make sure you get your registrations in and hotels situated and everything else like that early before it's going to creep up on us pretty fast. The Code Honor Scholarship deadline is today. So if you're looking to get that in, make sure you get that in and done. The messaging that's been coming out on the Pro Codes Act, be sure you take a look at that and reach out to your federal delegation if you can to support the Pro Codes Act and the SDO process in general, but it's obviously a huge help to ICC and our code development process. If you can get some changes at the federal level to support the codes and the copyright protections. Another thing that came out, it came out by an email, I think, last week, but if you haven't checked it out, the building safety report, you do have to log in on the website, but there's some really cool information that got gathered. There's several, I want to say it was 3 to 4,000, I think it was, that people responded to that survey, but you can sort it by your area, by all kinds of different demographics. It's a good snapshot, and they're looking to keep that updated, but some good information on the building safety report. Just want to welcome the couple of members, new members to the Fire Service Membership Council. I don't think both of them were able to get on, but our IFC reps. We were able to get Robert Marshall back situated in the FCAC chair with his change of employment. And then there's a lot of work been going on in the council policy area, one of which probably was a bigger one that on the nominating committee process, and that's going to go into effect as part of this cycle. But that we were tasked with some more policy work, cleanup, and we have a meeting in the next couple of weeks. But those are a couple of highlights. Look forward to seeing a bunch of people in a couple of months in Cleveland. I think I saw Secretary Treasurer McDaniel on, Director Metz, and I think Director Hines. So maybe I left them a couple of things, but thank you.
Thank you, sir. And yes, I saw quite a few other board members on. I'll open up the floor to them.
Thanks, Tim. Steve McDaniel. Sean did an excellent job with an update, and I know Ron is missed. He did said to several of us many times that he couldn't make it, and wanted to make sure somebody was here. I don't really have any further updates other than what Sean had mentioned, the only maybe thing would be, I think we've actually created a theme for the gala at the ABM. The theme is Enchanted Night, for those that want to take part in the gala event. Other than that, we won't turn into a board meeting, but there's other board members on. We'll be here if there's any questions.
Glad to have you, sir. Thank you.
I'm going to go ahead and throw out 2 additional dates for the group here. The first date is September 20th. That is your deadline in order to have all your GMVR voter registration done for your local jurisdiction. So if you're planning on coming to Cleveland and planning on voting for bylaw change proposal, board of directors, and then staying for code proposals, it's really important that you get your voters squared away for this cycle right here by September 20th. The other date I'm going to throw out there for anybody that may be interested, I know that there are a couple people on this call that are currently running for the board of directors this year, but the deadline for filing for board of directors is August 21st. That is 60 days out from our voting date. So there's still time if you're thinking about it to get your paperwork in, but I will also say that a lot of the candidate forms will be happening over the summer. So if you wait till August 21st, you probably will have missed a lot of opportunity to promote your name and get it out there. So those are the only 2 things I have to add. And I do believe Director Hyen and Breadmore are also on the call.
I'll go ahead and jump in. I'll be very brief. I will just say that's awesome to see FSMC and BMC working together here. It's hard to back cleanup when everybody is so good ahead of you. There isn't much I have to add in terms of council work, but council is strong and doing well, and we are here to support you and your efforts. So thank you very much for your time.
And the best part about going last is my fellow directors have covered it. Always happy to be here, folks. Thank you very much.
Again, thank you all for attending. We appreciate your support, and of course, anything we can do to help you all too. We look forward to it. As far as reports from the chair, I will say that we've had a very busy couple weeks trying to get our reports done, get the annual report ready. Of course, as Director Toomey did mention, we do have 2 new members appointed to the governing council from IAFC. Unfortunately, they weren't on the call, but one of them is replacing one of our longtime members, Rick Boysford, who did make on the call today, and I wanted to recognize him and say thank you. We appreciate all the time and effort that you have, that you gave to our organization, and that we know you're not going anywhere. You're just very busy, and look forward to your continued support. And again, anything we can do for you. Rachel, you have an update.
Sure. Mine will be pretty brief. We did meet to do a goal setting session with the governing members. I am thrilled to death with the turnout we had with a very last minute meeting. We didn't want to go and kill half of this meeting determining goals for us. So my sincere appreciation for everybody who hopped on out of cycle on this. Tim, thank you very much for leading this. I'm really excited to have this group meeting again and having so many people participate, including board members. Guys, thank you all for logging on for us. It shows a lot of support and we are very appreciative. So with that, thank you. Tim, back to you.
Once again, echo the sentiment. Moving on, Vice Chair Nelson, anything to update?
Nothing further than what's already been said. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate all the hard work in bringing these groups together. Otherwise, nothing else to report.
Thank you, sir. Allison.
The only thing I have to stress again that I think both you and Rachel have said is I put Rachel and I's contact information in the chat with our emails. If you want to participate in BMC, you do not have to be a governing member. The more folks who we have to help us execute these things, the better we can serve membership and the more things we can tackle that are bigger projects. So I just this has been a great turnout with over 90 folks at various points in this meeting. So I just want to stress again, if you're looking for a pathway to get more involved, this is a great one of like meeting more members, being more engaged. So thank you.
Thank you. Move into our ICC staff liaison reports. Rachel,
Real
go
quick,
ahead.
Tim, I forgot one thing, and it is incredibly important, and my sincerest apologies. Christine and Karen, thank y'all for all of your work in putting this together. You guys put a ton of work into this. I really want to acknowledge the fact that these two are, I mean, we just go and kind of say things. They're the ones that make a lot of this happen. So thank y'all. And sorry for forgetting you. I didn't mean to.
Oh, no, you're fine. I've been saying it the whole time. So, and there we are. They're now on the podium. So I let Christine and Karen have their moment. Whoever would like to go first.
Well, thank you, Chairs Diehl and Parrish, and it's our pleasure. It's our job. That's what we're here for as your staff liaisons. And Christine and I arm wrestled earlier today about who would share a quick ICC GR update, and I won. So here we are from our virtual arm wrestling. There you go. And as following the board of directors, I really just need to say ditto, but I will do one other thing is just show a couple slides that can revisit the topics that they already covered for us. So the first thing I would just like to remind everyone is Christine and I are here as your staff liaisons, but we're also part of our government relations team. Christine is part of our brand new fire disaster mitigation program, and I am part of our traditional GR team. But what that means is that you have at least one or two or more people in the field there to support you. So this meeting is fantastic. I think I saw 104 people at one point in the call. So you're likely calling in from different parts of the country, and you're looking at the slide and you're saying, well, Karen doesn't help me, and that may be true, but there is another person available to assist, and our job is to be that liaison. So the point of this slide is just to remind us, when you go to the website, you see iccsafe.org, this handy wheel. Underneath the wheel is an adopt button. Click on that button. That will show you our government relations team page, and then you can find the contact information for your person. And then at the very bottom of that page, we also have our monthly ICC Government Relations monthly update. So that is a newsletter that we're grateful for, that we can then distribute out to all of our members and ICC friends around the country and the world. And so if you haven't looked at it lately, take a moment to click through it. It's a PDF, a couple pages in length, and it has different topics that you might find more or less interesting to you today. And you can click on those hyperlinks. It'll either take you to places on our website or partner websites. A few other things to share for this morning. This was also brought up earlier by our board of directors, was the Pro Codes Act. This is a federal piece of legislation that we were working on last year. We're very eager and excited that we think this year we can be successful in having this passed. This is copyright protection for standards developing organizations worldwide, and most importantly, on this call, we could say ICC, but it's not just the International Code Council. That is all standards developing organizations from NFPA, IATMO, UL, AISC, ASCE. We could just keep throwing out acronyms and thinking of all of the resources that you rely upon day in and day out to do your jobs. And at ICC specifically, this is a way to protect your work, because as you know, that we don't write the codes, you write the codes. We facilitate that process of where you submit your code change proposals, you travel to our hearings, and you're able to debate the merits of these code change proposals. You have your professional group and the committee chairs that are going to be discussing it further. We have the process in the end. Your governmental voting members are going to vote on the outcome. And so we want to be able to maintain that process that's transparent and free, and really a top-notch effort to continue to create our model codes. And we can't do so without strengthening our copyright. So as a couple other notes here, you can see this is a bipartisan effort from both sides of the aisle, coast to coast. And we are asking for a couple of things. One, I said this a moment ago, but here's just a few of our supporters. So you can take a gander at all of the various organizations that you work with on a regular basis and see that, again, this isn't just an ICC issue. We're asking for two things. One, a letter of support from your chapter. And our team has sent out emails to all of our chapter leaders to send them some template language that you can utilize, place it on your chapter letterhead, and then modify it as you see fit. Send it back to your GR person, and then we'll make sure that it gets to our federal team who are meeting with Congress members. So that would be one excellent thing to do. We're excited by the number we've already received. Our goal is to get those by the end of this month or the end of August at the very latest. I know it's hard right now with all of the vacations. The second thing that you can do to support is to voice your opinion. And I can drop this into our chat here in a minute, but this is an individual tool that you can click on. It will pull up some language to begin with. Again, you put in your contact information and it'll identify who your congressperson is. You don't have to do any legwork. You can modify it, hit send. So two ways you can help support this Pro Codes effort that we would love to see. We're excited to be able to share how successful this is this year. The other things to reiterate is we heard already we have our annual conference coming to Cleveland, Ohio in the fall. It'll be here before you know it. And today is the deadline for our Code of Honor Scholarship. So if you're looking for some financial support to get there, please apply. And as a reminder, the conference, it begins with networking, our business meetings. We have so many educational opportunities, but then rolls into the code hearings. We're working on the 2027 code development. We're right here in the middle. This CAH #2 will be occurring at our fall conference, and that is on the Group B codes. We're in year #2. So again, if you're passionate about the IBC or BMC here, IEBC, the structural provisions, the residential code, all of those will be under review. And 2 days ago, the committee action or the public comments did close. So hopefully you got your comments in. If not, you can go on to CDP Access and have a look ahead of time to see what might be up for discussion in Cleveland. Two more things. If you like podcasts, want to point out that we do have our ICC Pulse podcast, a couple of new episodes. One, number 63, this was on the topic of code development. So I think, again, in this call, it might be really preaching to the choir, but if you know of anyone who's unfamiliar with what the code hearings are like, how they might participate, this is a great podcast that you can direct them to, that they can hear some interviews with some veterans of this process and what that journey has looked like for them. And then our more recent episode was an interview with a builder in Texas, Matt Reisinger, talking about ways our professions can collaborate and work closer. Last item, and I will turn it back to our chairs, would be to just alert you to another opportunity for educational support. So the Emory R. Rogers Leadership and Building Safety Fellowship is open until December 15th. You can apply for this to receive up to $20,000 to pursue your executive educational career path. So we have on this slide a few examples of past recipients and how they use that, and would encourage you all to consider that as well. So I'll stop sharing my screen. I will again point out that we are a team of professionals around the country to support you. Many of them are on this call today. So if anyone is really anxious to jump in and say, you know, Christine in particular, something that I missed that you think would be beneficial for this group, I would like to pause for one moment for that.
Thank you, Karen, for that great report. I have nothing to add.
Excellent. Well,
Karen, we do have a question in the chat. When are they planning to announce the ICC Code of Honors recipients?
Ooh, good question. I don't have that answer. Any of my colleagues know? Deadline is today. So yeah, and if that I'm wondering if you're thinking of your travel and plans in that regards. So if you're hoping to receive it, I would say go ahead and book your hotel rooms at the minimum, and then we'll take a look at early bird deadlines and see if that might have an effect. And I will look into that and we'll see if we can add that to the minutes for answer.
Perfect. And then I was going to pause for like 2 seconds in case Richard Hoffey wanted to turn on his camera and take a bow. For those of y'all who don't know, he puts a ton of work into this GR newsletter that comes out every month. And so I definitely want to give him credit for this in here. It's an amazing resource. If you guys aren't getting it and reading it, you should.
Agreed.
Yeah, there was an answer posted in the chat that should be announced next week or the following week at the latest for the Code of Honor recipients. So go from there. Any other comments, questions for the liaisons? All right. Moving on to the next one, liaison reports. Of course, we're going to kind of have a condensed one. There's no fire and building because we're already here. So we'll go to the membership council steering committee. As you probably have seen, the call for the governing committees did go out. So that is out there. You should all be aware of that. The annual reports are due tomorrow, at least their drafts, from all the membership councils. So I know here again, fire service, we're putting ours together. Should be ready by close of business tomorrow. But that's what I have. Allison, if you would like to fill in any blanks.
Thanks so much, Tim. No, I think you have covered most of it. I hope folks do join us at the Membership Steering Council Committee. We will be kind of sharing out information about next year's goal setting. As I know, some councils are still working on wrapping that up ahead of our next meeting. And then I think we have some good topics coming up. So look forward to people participating at that level too. Were we going to share at this point, Chair Diehl and Chair Parrish? I believe Fire Service has already done this, but the BMC open seats, as well as encouraging folks, if you are interested in serving on membership councils as governing committees. I believe every membership council has folks terming off this year and will have seats opening up. You do need to be on the member platform. You do need to be a member of that council, is my understanding of it. And I do know we have some folks terming off. If Chair Parrish, you want to share that here, so folks do plan accordingly for applying to serve on our membership councils as governing committee members.
Absolutely. And, you know, I'm going to go and say the numbers that I remember, but let's be honest, my memory is crazy faulty. I believe we have 2 up for re-election to the membership council, and then we have 2 open seats, 2 seats that will be open on ours.
Yes, and I believe we will be reaching out to, because I don't have it in front of me unless Karen does, the 2 members who are eligible and up for re-election.
I'm already aware. So just the one. I'm really hoping y'all let me come back.
It's on our membership council page. So a reason to visit. So it was a post that just went out. And I'm looking to pull it up as we're talking too.
It is on the member community, yes.
Yeah, I saw it announced on the community page. I know Ron put it out the other day. I was going to refer everybody there. Welcome, Bill. Nice for you to be here. Glad to have you. Do you have anything you want to add about that, or we can do it later on in our new business?
I thought I declined him in the lobby. No?
You missed him.
You tried. It didn't work.
Okay.
If you like, I can share my screen again to show the post from Ron Peaster for the BMC members. And let me see, pull this up if I can take one more moment.
Yep, go ahead, Karen.
All right, so this was from our BMC community page. Again, I think everyone on here is probably logged into this, and here you can see, as Chair Parrish just pointed out, that she is eligible for an additional term, as well as Brian Bishop, and that we have a vacancy, and then one of our members, Imrinder, is terming off.
Very good. Any questions? Okay. Thank you very much. Moving on. Yep. Moving on to global. I don't know if anybody's here from the Global Membership Council. I haven't seen anybody, but I could have missed them. We'll go over to emerging leaders.
Next meeting for emerging leaders will be on August 11, noon Central Time.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Anyone from sustainability? T. Shane. And I'll go with anyone from PMG.
Looks like just a bunch of fire and building people on here, man.
That's it. And I don't even think major jurisdictions made it on here.
I think we have one.
Okay.
I knew I was going to get called out on this. We did not have a meeting this month, so nothing to update.
Yeah, we won't miss you. You may be new, but we're going to find you. Any other liaison reports? Okay. Ongoing business, building our fire.
I did want to bring up one more. I would like to continue this every year, at least once a year. I think twice a year would be awesome. But I really enjoy the collaboration between our two membership councils and hitting some topics that we both agree on. So if all 88 now people are willing to hop back on next year, I would be thrilled to death to do this again.
Oh, absolutely, I agree. I think this has definitely been long overdue, and looking forward to continuing it down the road. We'll move into new business. As was mentioned before, the ICC nominating committees, we're going to try to do that ahead of time, so that we can have everything done beforehand. So
if you like, I can go ahead and do our end.
Yeah, if you want to, that would be fine, because I need to pull up my roster again.
That's fine. So BMC, you guys, the way that our nominating committees work is those that are not up for re-election into the membership council will be part of the nominating committee, and you guys will elect your chair during your meeting. With that, I'm going to step back from anything else on that nominating committee because it's going to seem very self-serving. And so Allison will be the one coordinating with you guys on that. Sorry, Tim, you want me to talk a little longer?
No, I was trying to find things out. I'm sitting here going through, but I've got the easy fix that I usually always go to. In fire service, normally we'll always grab a representative from IAFC, from ICC, as well as NASM to form the nominating committee. So what I will do right now is hopefully Mr. Desrochers, who represents the ICC currently. I know he's done it in the past. If he will be happy enough to at least be chair of this nominating committee, and I will get him two more names to go along with him so that we are prepared.
10-4, sir.
I appreciate it, Michael. Thank you. I will get you two more names and we'll have everything set, ready to go. Any other new business?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Go
Dwayne
ahead,
Garris.
sir.
Thank you. Dwayne Garris here. Just want to talk about the Ron Burton golf outing. This outing is held each year at the ICC annual conference on Sunday before the annual business meeting. We're currently in our 10th year, and it honors Ron Burton, who served many years for the Building Owners and Management Association and the National Association of Home Builders. Just want to remind you, this outing is supported by the ICC Board of Directors and has raised over $200,000 since its inception. The funds that are used and fundraised deal with the Journey to Leadership, help fund those skills and raising leadership programs to develop and deliver education programs to assist future leaders, and funds the Code of Honor scholarships up to $50,000 is awarded annually for the code hearings. That's $2,000 per scholarship recipient. So the industry associations have overwhelmingly supported this, and we invite many others to join. Our goal this year is to increase our chapter participation in our golf outing itself. I just want to say right now, the way we have it is we have basically had only 3% of the ICC chapters basically participate in this. And there's over 400 ICC chapters that exist. So if we could just make sure that if you are a chapter member, a regional member, or whatever, if you could reach out to your chapter and encourage them to participate and support this. I've put a link in the chat to help with the sponsorships. My goal as chair this year, as a past president, is to beat all the past years we've had, the past 10 years. So we're well on our way, but we certainly would like more participation, especially with the 400 ICC chapters that are out there. So, I mean, if they did 100 apiece, that's $40,000. That'd be great, but we would appreciate it. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir. And a good reminder, it's coming up, and the assist the best way we can. Any other new business? All right, seeing none, I will mention that the next BMC meeting is September 10th. The next fire service meeting will be Thursday, August 21st. And I'll open it up for any comments or questions from the audience. Anything for the good of the order? Once again, I appreciate everyone's time. We got a lot of good information, a wonderful event with the building and fire combined. Like I said, we don't do this enough. And thank you again to Karen and Christine for the heavy lift. I know we're not an easy groups to deal with sometimes, but this was
Only
wonderful.
you, Tim.
I know.
I'm a dream.
It's great to see. So if no one else has anything, I will look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll
make a motion to adjourn. I'll second it.
There we go. 20.
Thank you all.
Yep. Thank you all again. Take care. Be safe.
Bye. Thank you.
Everyone.